What's going on, guys, and welcome back to the channel. So we're starting the vlog today inside the house. It's been a while since we did that, so let's say hi to the dogs. Jackson, what's up, buddy? Jefferson, how you doing? He's like, I'm just trying not to be bad, which is really, really hard because, well, I'm bad, aren't you? Lauren's over here. What are you doing? It's early morning, 8:46, because I gotta film this video, edit it, and upload it before I go to work at 1:30. So.
That's true.
Oh, what are we doing here? Oh, we're making coffee in this mug that my parents got me. Check this out. Here we go.
What is that?
What is it? It's a bird, it's a plane. It's a car. These things are pretty cool.
Does anybody else have one of these? I feel like I see them floating around.
Yeah. Anyways, we're gonna head out to the garage real quick because we have a few things, a few updates for you guys. Ooh, it's a little dark. But not this garage, the other garage with the other car. Oh yeah, Freedom Rocket is back home, as you guys may know if you watched the last video. If you didn't, definitely go up here and watch the video. But for those of you that did, got the Freedom Rocket back home finally after so many months between the coronavirus and waiting for parts and so much going on. We finally got the car back. It's running. Everything's good. Once I got it home, I did a little modification too to get it ready for this weekend. I decided to cut, sand, and polish the exhaust pipe and the wastegate pipe. Those of you guys that remember, the pipes were just plain old pipes coming right out, and they were dirty, they weren't polished or anything. I didn't think it looked that great. I think it stuck out like a sore thumb. So I said, you know what? I'm gonna take this upon myself to polish it up and make it match everything else, and I think it looks great. I did this all by hand. I didn't use any machines, any sanding machines, nothing crazy like that. The first thing I did is I went and I made the cut, this angled cut here. Originally it was just straight, right? So with the angled cut, as you can see, we have this line's following up the windshield, and this one will allow the exhaust to kind of go up this way at the same time, just to keep a little more exhaust away from the windshield. And obviously it looks a little better too. And I'll show you guys the video here as I did it, because I recorded a time lapse and whatnot, but made the cut at work, cleaned up the edges because I didn't have a saw or anything like that to cut. This stainless steel is pretty hard. Once I did that, I brought it back and I started with 320 grit sandpaper to get the hard scratches out of it. Now there's still some scratches, and you can kind of see if you look up close, but I got a lot of them out. So I started with 320 grit, then I went to 400, then I went to 600, 1,000, 2,000, and 3,000. Then from 3,000, I took the pipes to just a wheel polisher with a polishing stick, like I think it was white and gray I had. I think I ended up just using the white. I tried some different things on this larger pipe to see what would work best. So after that, I just followed up with some Mother's polish, hand polished them, and they turned out really good. It's almost a mirror finish. It's not exactly mirrored like chrome would be. It's definitely a high polish, high shine look, which I like. And it matches everything. So it matches the front of the turbo inlet here. It matches the charge pipe. It matches the throttle body. It matches the cooler brick. I like it because it brings everything together. Now, my only concern is when I put the hood on, is it going to fit the cowl? So the cowl on the hood starts like here. And I've already pretty much figured out that the turbo is going to come and kind of be like this. The cowl is going to come up like this. So it's going to kind of slice the turbo in half, which actually might look cool. However, when I come back to the exhaust pipe here, this wastegate's going to stick out probably like that. Because if you look, here's where the hood comes, it's going to be flat to about here. And then either where this pipe starts or maybe a little bit into the exhaust pipe is where the cowl is going to start to come up. Now I'm hoping the cowl doesn't come over this, which would mean the exhaust pipe would be under, like recessed in the hood. If anything, I want it to be flush with the cowl or a little above the cowl would be nice. So we'll see what happens. If I put the hood on and I don't like it, the hood will stay, and I'll just change the pipes to fit the hood. They didn't take me a long time. It took me a couple days to do them. I was doing them before work, so I did one a day basically. So I did all this, got everything ready for the car, pretty much ready to race, and then this happened. Cecil County Dragway contacted me, and we ended up canceling the Run YA BRUNG event. I'm extremely upset, and I just can't believe it's come to this. You guys may not know this, but this is actually the second time I've rescheduled the event. Originally, I had it scheduled for May 3rd this year when coronavirus came about and everything was shut down in March and April. I didn't even start promoting it because I was afraid that, well, it wouldn't happen, and obviously it didn't, and I'm glad I didn't start promoting it. So I moved it to August thinking, hey, you know what, that's pretty far away for things to start to get better and get back to normal, so I think we're pretty safe with that, and here we are. I know I told you guys that I wouldn't let this happen, and I wouldn't let it happen. I would still run the event right now, but our hands were tied because the Cecil County, Maryland Health Board decided to instill more mandates, and they come up with these mandates and regulations like off the cuff randomly. You don't get notified about it until the last minute, and that's when it happened. I was literally notified about this a couple days ago. The Cecil County, Maryland Health Board basically is saying that there are to be no spectators whatsoever at any outdoor sporting events. Obviously, I want everyone to come to this event and enjoy the event like they have previous years. So the owner of the drag strip basically came out with a proposal for limited spectators. That way spectators and racers can enjoy the event. They never got back to him in time and ended up shooting it down after that. So I didn't really even know what to do. I had to make a quick decision because there are a lot of people that travel. There may be people that have gotten hotel rooms. I had to let everybody know as soon as possible, so I ended up pulling the plug because it just wasn't possible to run an event with no spectators. And the thing that really irks me about this whole thing is the fact that this isn't like your normal sporting event. Those of you that know, you go to a football game, you have football players and you have fans and spectators. That's it. So the football players don't go in the stands and watch the football game, and the spectators don't go down into the field and play the football game. They are completely separate. So to have no spectators at a football game means nobody shows up and it's just the team and it airs on TV or whatever. With a drag racing event, people can spectate and race. They can be the same thing. So when I'm not racing my car, I'm spectating. I go to the starting line, I watch some cars. I'm now a spectator. I go back and race my car, I'm now a racer. So there is no difference between a spectator and a racer. So these blanket mandates, these broad statements that these health boards, these state health boards are making, I don't think they really understand that there are a lot of fine details and fine lines and gray areas that need to be addressed because everybody is so confused about this and people are losing business. They're basically flushing their livelihoods down the toilet because of some poor decisions that are backed by inflated statistics in most cases. I tried to kind of be neutral during all this to you guys, and I didn't really say too much about it on social media. Just kind of like, hey guys, you know, hope you're staying safe out there and hope everything is going well. The thing is now that it's affected me twice this year, and it's affected a lot that I've tried to do for you guys. This pandemic crushed a lot of people. I made a statement in the very beginning of this. I said that coronavirus is going to kill more people than we know, and it will not be from actually getting the virus. And I said that back in March. Yes, people have physically died from getting this, and it's horrible. It's a shame, and I feel bad for anybody that is watching this video. I'm sorry if your loved one or somebody died from this virus. It's terrible. However, people die every day of multiple viruses, multiple things, and numbers that are 3 and 4 times the number of people that have died from this particular virus. And not just that, but most of these numbers are being inflated. It's not because of the doctors and the hospitals that, oh, they get more money because of coronavirus patients. We are all listening to the CDC because CDC is looked at as this big company that it's this know-all, do-all company that we should all listen to. And for somebody with the name of the Center for Disease Control and Prevention, it sounds like a great name and something I should listen to. However, if you really read deep into it, and it's blatantly there, this isn't something that's a conspiracy, this is factual information that the CDC said. To identify a coronavirus patient, there are one of 2 ways to do that. One is to actually test them and for it to come back positive. Well, we've already read about the false positive cases, how they're not reliable, but let's just look past that and say they're all reliable and say they all come back true and accurate. Then there's the second way to determine if somebody has coronavirus, and that is presumptive. And what I mean by presumptive is if you go to the doctor's office and you have the symptoms of coronavirus and they don't test you and they think you have it, well, you have it. meaning you have coronavirus because I say you do, not because you've tested positive. The ironic thing about this virus is, as you well know, it has a lot of flu-like symptoms, actually many flu-like symptoms. So you could have the flu, you could have a really bad cold, you could be fighting an infection and have a fever, but you don't have coronavirus. However, they're labeling you as that. So that's why all these cases are extremely inflated. Now up front, we were all scared of this. A lot of people were scared. I was kind of scared of it, not gonna lie. I was being forced to work during it, while others were just told to go home and they were deemed not essential and I was deemed essential. Like, is it worth me going to work for this? I questioned that. Well, after a few months, didn't know anybody who had it. I didn't know anybody that knew anybody that had it or died from it, and I was just starting to question things. So basically, fast forward to today, and all this information has come out, and we are still in this state. And the moment I knew this wasn't about science and more about politics is basically when, you know, all the riots started happening, the protests, and people were out in groups of hundreds and thousands of people together. The news was reporting it and saying, oh, you know, that didn't spike any coronavirus cases. Okay, well, we were all told to stay out of groups and stay away from everybody because we could give that to somebody and it's contagious. That's how the virus spreads. Okay, but it doesn't spread if you protest. However, it does spread if you go to a Donald Trump rally. So you'd think it would spread both ways or not spread both ways. That right there is when I knew this virus was totally 110% political. And at this point, now that it's affected me and some of my livelihood, I'm pretty upset about it. So I figured I'd voice my opinion, and honestly, at this point, it's more of an opinion. I've stated a lot of facts, and I hope you guys take those in. Maybe you didn't know, maybe you already knew, or maybe you're just don't want to believe that and you're still on the side of, you know, this is best because you need to stay home and stay safe. Well, every day I leave my home, I make a conscious decision to go out into the world, whether it's safe or not, and I may not come back alive. And if people don't want to leave their home because they're afraid, then don't leave their home. But don't sit here and tell me I have to stay in my home to keep you safe. I'm sorry, but that's not how this works. You know, people die in more car accidents per year than have died from the coronavirus. Inflated coronavirus numbers, because we also know, and this is a fact, that when people die of a certain reason, let's say they died from a heart attack, if they tested positive for coronavirus, they have died from coronavirus, not from the heart attack, not from their pre-existing conditions that they are pretty much bound to die from. Like if you smoked all your life and you have lung cancer, but you test positive for coronavirus, all of a sudden you died because of coronavirus, not because you smoked forever and had lung cancer. That's the problem with the death rate. So even though these numbers are completely like small and minute, they're even smaller because those numbers are inflated. I apologize to everybody that was planning on coming to this event and that had tickets. I was able to refund everybody's tickets yesterday. I refunded everybody through PayPal. So if you did not receive the refund, please contact me. Email me on my website and I'll see if I can figure out why, and I'll contact PayPal about it. But other than that, as far as like a new scheduled event for Run What You Brung, I don't know if I'll be doing it this year, just because I think it's going to get worse in the fall. Like they keep saying, I think it's going to matter who gets elected. I think that's what's going to dictate if this virus continues or not. I'm just going to wait it out and probably schedule something in 2021. I'd love to do something this year because I don't want the year to be a complete wash, but sometimes it's better to just accept it and move forward. So I think that's what I'm going to do. Now, as far as like me personally racing this car, I'm going to try to get it out as soon as I can to a track because I really want to finally get it there. You know, I feel like I just started this year with everything, but I'm going to try my best for you guys to take it to a track and run it and see what it puts down, what kind of numbers it runs. I'm hoping it's going to run somewhere in the mid 8s at first, and then maybe low 8s, and then, I mean, it would be awesome if I could turn this up to run 7s. It's going to be hard because the car still does weigh a lot. However, I do have some things in mind to save some weight. I'm going to be doing some weight reduction on the car. Nothing crazy, like I'm not doing a whole tube chassis or anything like that because that's a little expensive. But I'm going to be taking some things off the car to save some weight, you know, 100 pounds here, maybe 100 pounds there. And if I could get the car down below 4,000 with me in it, that would be pretty cool. That'd be ideal. That's pretty much all I wanted to update you guys about. I want to make sure everybody knows about the event being canceled so you don't show up on Sunday and you're like, what the heck, what's going on here? I feel like I shouldn't be surprised that it was canceled because every other event this year was pretty much canceled, but there's just this slight chance and hope that I had that it would still be on. That about does it for this video, and if you guys enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up. Please share it with your friends. If you know they were coming to an event, let them know that it's canceled. We're doing something to Lauren's Blazer, and I'll be announcing that soon, so stay tuned for that. As always, be sure to hit that subscribe button if you guys are coming here for the first time, and have a great day.